I just got back from Allentown and I picked up this 8-ball Deluxe special cab for a fair price. Playfield is pretty good. Obviously yellow, but it's not ripped up like these tend to be. Little spots here and there, you know, somebody hot glued the caps on, which is nasty, and there's corrosion all over the board, but it's all here. This is also not the first 8-ball Deluxe that I have worked on, so this one is mine. But for work, I did up this 8-ball Deluxe. Now, I didn't do all the beautiful art and everything. I just kind of was given all the pieces that said, put it together and make it work. And I did. Check this out. Beautiful CNC. This one also doesn't have a working soundboard, but everything else is done up. I'm very familiar with these. And this has the great advantage of I have spare parts. Now, I say that with this because I'm not allowed to take any... Not allowed, me. I'm making myself not allowed to take anything from this. Because this is a nice restored one. And that one is not. But if I need to try a board or something out, or a power supply, or a certain bit or bob, I can borrow it from this one. And then immediately put it back, because I can't afford it. So where I'm at currently is I try to turn this thing on, and the MPU gives me 2 flashes. Now, right... acid damage, whatever, I'm not keeping this MPU. But I swapped in the MPU and power driver board from that one, and it still flashed twice. Now I have this very cool Bally electronic manual that will tell me exactly what that means, and I'll look at that in a moment. However, this game has a terminal illness, and it is these red connectors. They suck. That's the nice way of putting it. They're kind of faulty. You can see someone's already replaced a couple here and there, which is great. And now I have to redo all of them. Yippee. So I am going to go out a whim and say it's probably bad connectors that is causing that. Because if I took both from the other game and it's still not working, then it's either the connectors or something's going on with the power supply in the cabinet. And the only thing on the power supply in the cabinet is the transformer and 2 bridge rectifiers, one of which has been replaced already. I'm doubting it's that, because the MPU does say it has 5 volts. Might not be proper 5 volts, but here's the power board over here. I'm repinning the connectors because, although I already cleaned out and threw them out, somebody had flowed solder onto the pins. These are replacement, right, so you're not going to see it. Oh wait, I think they're still on this one. Let me get this to focus up. You can see someone's put some solder on the pins to make some better contact. And I'm going to replace both the connector and the pins so that that's not a problem. Unfortunately, I am out of 20 to 22 gauge 156 pins. I only have 18 to 20s, which are a little too large for most of the wires in the game. And I do have 0.100 pins, so I can redo these and the ones for the MPU. But, unfortunately, they're not Trifurcon, and after the power board and the MPU, I'll probably be out. So I ordered more of those, too. Everything's on the way, except the capacitors. I couldn't get them, so they're going to have to wait, and hopefully they're okay for the moment. I may have to adjust the high voltage until I get them there, but I also might not want to. I don't know. There's some modifications I have to make. I like these power boards. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, replace it. Get a better one. No, I like these. These transistors can get a little weak, but you can replace them with, I think, it's tip 120s or tip 122. Same thing, still functional, just more powerful. So you can replace all of those. You can socket these, you replace these, and you can upgrade the heatsink if you want, but you don't really need to. I don't know what the heatsink's doing on here. This is not factory that I'm aware of. They're serviceable, they're kind of bulletproof, and as long as you don't let them get too hot, they'll just run forever. I'm going to modify the ground line, though. So I'll finish this connector, and then I'll talk about that grounding a little bit. Okay, so as I was removing the pins for this one, the other ones, I'm sure you can see the holes in the solder, literally just pulled out. That's bad and should not happen. So this connector was making horrendous connection, if at all. That's a start. Now that I have all the pins done, I'm going to do that ground thing I was talking about. Here's a picture of a board I did a while back. And all I'm going to do here is just add jumpers from place to place. All I'm doing is connecting ground paths to each other. Sometimes with these games, the ground paths will take very strange paths around the board. I think it was just very early into solid state design. They didn't really know what they were doing. And by adding these jumpers, you can lower some of the load on the ground circuit and make it a little easier on the board. It's an improvement. It helps bulletproof them and keep the heat down as well as doing the other things. For the moment, I'm just doing the connectors and the ground mods because I don't have capacitors, nor do I have a desoldering gun to change out the chips to be serviceable. But this board will be bulletproofed eventually, like super duper, never fail bulletproofed. Like I said, I really like these original power boards. They're just, not really power boards. The design is a little faulty sometimes. This would be one of them. Here's the 8-volt Deluxe. I put the power driver board back in. This connector and this connector are already redone. That's extremely loud. So when I turn it on, you'll see what happens. There's just, watch the MPU. 1, 2, dead. Now, obviously, acid damaged MPU, power supply board not right, half the connectors in the game, ass. It doesn't work. Oh, hey, look at that. Display has power. That wasn't on before. Okay, that probably has to do with something I did. Yeah, like I said, these connectors are just notoriously terrible. I'm probably going to go through every single one of these pins and more. Yeah. Additionally, I repinned the soundboard connector on other 8-ball Deluxe to try and see if my soundboard would work. Initially, it had tried to work, and then it didn't, and I found the connector on this one to be destroyed. So redid the connector, and it still doesn't work. So we need 2 Squawk and Talks. Both of them. So I need a Squawk and Talk for that one, a Squawk and Talk for mine, and an MPU as well. So I'm going to get home and get working on that. Oh, hey, look at that. The back glass light's on. Extremely dim. I wonder if that's an issue with the lighting system or if it's not getting enough power. Or if that's how bright it's supposed to be. I don't actually have the back glass here to check. I took it home. But yeah, I'm going to unplug this because I do not trust it at all. All your fuses are correct, but still, don't trust it.
I've been repinning the power board. I found that the issue is that it's not handing it a consistent 5 volts. Somewhere between the power board and the MPU, it's dropping down to 4. And got a little frustrated, repinned a bunch of connectors, and I went down to the power module to check. Somebody's already replaced one of these. And I found these pins. And if it would focus, you could see that they are horribly, horribly cracked. So those are going to get reflowed real quick. Oh, that one's going to take forever to do. So all the points are redone, and I reflowed a couple of other things too. Basically anything that would be exposed to high heat. So I'm going to put this back in, see if it changed anything. And it changed nothing. As a test, I went ahead and grabbed the power supply from that one, because that has a new one, and also it works, and it didn't change anything. Currently what it is, and let me get the head down here, is that the head? This isn't the head, this is the playfield. So best I can tell, the issue is that the MPU is not getting enough voltage. At the chips, it's getting 4.3. And from what I know, that's just not enough. However, exiting the power board is 5.1, which is fine. And I did do the ground mods to this board, and I repinned every connector except this one. Now this connector is not relevant to our problem, but I'm going to redo it anyway, because it turns out this orange one was bad. These orange ones are previously repinned, and they're also bad. Now I've redone the 2 connectors on this board that are relevant to our problem. That would be J1 and J4. J2 and J3 are for the switch matrix, and while they can cause other problems, I needed to boot up first. Here's the kicker. Sometimes when I turn it on, it will flash 4 times instead of the normal 2. In fact, let's see what it does this time. One, two. Okay. And it's just something around here is loose, or I don't know. I checked all these for corrosion. They're corrosion free. They're tight.
I unplugged the display just to see if there's any backfeeding, and also because it was just kind of in the way. And I don't see anything here. Best I can tell, 5 volts should be coming from this one. It runs down, comes back up in this harness, goes, and goes straight into the board. I don't know where my volt is going, but I need it. And I'd rather not turn up the high voltage. It's kind of the wrong thing to do. Never mind. So, turns out I was wrong. If I unplug J1 and try to turn it on, it will get way farther in its attempted boot up. 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets stuck halfway on. And does that. So this is responsible for some of the 5 volt. Don't mind that it's split. I didn't have enough connector bits. So it's probably along this line, I'd have to guess. And unfortunately, I can't find a pin out of where it goes. And this is Deluxe cab, so I don't know. The wiring's not normal. I get to do the fun way. I get to rip this out of the harness and see where it goes. Yippee. And when I'm done here, I will add zip ties back into this. I'm not insane. I'm not just going to leave it this way. Just happen to want to know where it goes. And I thought it was going to jump straight to the power board. And it doesn't. You know what? I just cut into a main harness. Add a zip tie before that gets all wonky and crazy. I know what I'm doing is a little bit barbaric, but I don't care. I'll find where the wires go. It's kind of more important than anything else. Not restoring it, I just want it to play, and this is kind of holding me up from doing so. I'm not sure what they could be going down into the playfield for. Before I keep yanking into this harness, let me see if I can eyeball anything in terms of where this goes. There's not really any unique colors in this harness, but maybe. Couldn't find anything useful, so we're back to savagery. Not to here. I really don't know what this could connect to that would affect it. There's nothing really here that's relevant, right? I mean, there's all this playfield stuff up here, but none of that should stop it from booting. Like if you have a switch stuck that is holding it, then yeah, you can have it not boot correctly. However, that's not what this is doing. First of all, it's not the switch matrix connectors causing the problems. And second of all, I've dealt with a game that's done that. This isn't how it exhibits itself. It's not a... No. Like, you can do stuff to make it boot, and I did all the things that would make it boot under those conditions, and it did not. So, here we are. Now I'm just more confused. So I found it. You'll hear the multimeter beep. One of them is this connector. Orange-black. And this is a... Oh! I think I understand what's happened. I think I've switched the real J1 with a light board connector. Because why... Unless they're grounding it through the light matrix. That'd be kind of funny, though. Yeah, but they shouldn't have designed it with two connectors that go to the same location or have the same dead pin. So, I don't know. Let me look in the back box. Good news. I am a moron. That was a lighting connector. Bad news. It popped a fuse. I guess that's good news that it did it. But yeah, yo, Bally, what the hell? You're gonna make two identical connectors. It used to look like this one. All right, well, the blowing fuse is a bit of a problem, and it blew the 5-volt fuse, which is a little bit strange. So let me go grab some new fuses for that. Or, oh wait a minute, I have my circuit breakers. Oh, well, I brought them to Allentown. So did I get them back? Probably not. I don't know, that's, let me grab some fuse things. All right, I have a new fuse in there. It's actually a 5 amp and a 6 amp spot, because that's all I had. It will try and boot, and then it will switch to overvolt, so watch that. And it boots for seconds. So this game does a dance on the playfield when it starts, and you can see it gets like the first frame of it and then dies and goes to overvolt. So what we're gonna start with is just swapping that one for the known good one, seeing how that goes, and then swapping that one for the known good one and seeing how that goes. That should pretty much knock out any of the possible problems. Provided there's not another wire that's switched. Three, 4, 5, 6, overvolt. And it got the whole thing on that one too. So it's both of them. All right, well, now we go to the board in the bottom. I did unplug the game. Don't touch this if you are having your game plugged in. I wonder why that fuse blew the first time and then didn't after that. Because I did check the values. Although that one was a fast blow and not a slow. Probably what it was. I know nothing about these power boards. Just haven't had the chance to work with them. Or what they are and what they do. I just don't know them. All right, I unplugged it. There's a couple of fuses up here, there's 3. I pulled all the fuses and it successfully booted up. I'm gonna put them back in one at a time and see which one of them gets the game killed. You can actually see the displays will come on, provided this isn't the issue fuse. Yeah, and it does its dance. Now, I'm missing a large portion of playfield lights. I do not know why, but it's not currently what I'm worried about. All right, second fuse going in. It's that one. Okay, so what is that? Hold on, let me find out. It's somewhere in this reset rack. It tries to fire all of them. Okay. Nice and not helpful. Awesome. Well, I doubt every single coil is shorted. Why that says overvolt, I don't know. Unplug this. See what it does. Okay, so I unplugged that, and instead of trying to fire those, it tried to overload, I think this one, maybe it was this. It's this, what is this, black and white line has some sort of problem. I'm guessing there's a diode out somewhere or a shorted coil. That doesn't usually cause this kind of problem, but it's the only place I can think of, provided there's not some sort of crossed line. Let me check all the diodes. Once again, I traced it back. It's somehow getting into the lighting matrix. And I was like, okay, well I have the soundboard out, and maybe I got a connector messed up, so I'm down to plugging these 3 back in, one at a time. And if I'm right, eventually plugging one of them in will cause it to just shit the bed entirely. This one is a single pin on the bottom. Put this one in. I actually do have another one of these auxiliary driver boards coming. I know they tend to have problems, but not like this. Okay, that leaves me 2 connectors. But one of them is the soundboard. So what does that mean? I just unplugged and replugged all the lighting stuff and it's fine? Maybe something was off by a pin, that's all I can think of. Let me go grab my speech board. When I walked away, the game overvolted again. What a turd. But I do think I know why. I'll show it in a moment. I just gotta hang this. I like how this is precariously balanced so that if it drops, the corner of it goes directly into the playfield. Just gashes the hell out of it. Thank you, Bally. And the soundboard bracket is bent. I don't know, who was angry at the soundboard? Oh, you know, I probably should have turned the game off. Oh, too late now. Yeah, the auxiliary lamp driver is burned extremely. I don't know why that would be leaching into the solenoid line, but... oh. Okay, well... There's an IC chip that's circled, so I'm thinking somehow that's a problem. Good news! I ordered one of these. I didn't even know I needed it. Honestly, they were just on sale, and I know they tend to have problems, so count me lucky. Started a game, and Q13, losing its mind. I don't actually know what that is, because nothing is happening. I'm gonna guess it's this broken drop. It's probably trying to reset it or knock it down. But it is playing. Oh, it's gonna kick me in the finger. Q13. I don't know. Hey, well listen, it's on. We're gonna count this as working. Let me go get a ball. You know, they're pulsing for you, but those displays actually look pretty good. Can I stuff this back in there? This thing needs polished up really bad. It's scratched to shit. Hello? Why aren't we going back in? Please? Figure it out later. For the moment, play the game. I managed to hit end recording instead of start. Uh-oh. The trowel kicker is borderline unusable. And it's now put me on ball 3 because I'm getting points for doing nothing. You know, I thought these flippers were going to be worse. I have no idea if that star just worked. Competent pops. I'll still clean them out, but they're competent. Oh yeah, star does work. All right. Just so happens that every single light bulb is out. Uh-oh. Hey. I hope that wasn't electronically stuck. Did you see that grab? No, that's mechanical. Yeah, the trowel kicker tried one time and then died. Alright, well, I've got stuff coming in for this, so the next clip is going to be in a couple of days. Small side note, I'm setting up this Gottlieb Spider-Man. I'm looking for the leg plate, it fell off. And, I don't know how much you could see down there. Uh-huh. That's kind of creepy, man. All right, the Elmwood puppets. Why is that in a Gottlieb Spider-Man? With that strange Spider-Man that's really nice. Board's gone. Great. It did work, because I found a sale tag in it, and it was definitely the price of a working game. It's got this, but... Oh, that was my lens cap that I just threw. All right, back to 8-ball. Also, remember when I said the next clip was going to be a couple of days? That's a lie. It's tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can put these other boards back in, because these belong to that 8-ball Deluxe, which is not mine. I'm just borrowing the power stuff. So that's got to go back. I'm going to clean it, and I got new boards. MPU and light driver, which I think also acts as a solenoid expander, which would explain solenoid problems. Yeah, I think I showed this before, but that chip is circled, and this is burned. It's got a bunch of problems. So that's going to get a new connector and a new board. Then it'll work. As for the repinning, I'm not going to show that. If you've seen it in my other videos, you know I don't care to show it. It's boring for me, it's boring for you. We'll just skip to the connector being done. Good news, I don't have these pins yet. They're in that parts order I needed. They're 156 pins, but they're the smaller, what is it, 18, 20? 20 to 22? I don't know, the smaller gauge wire. But technically, I can't believe I'm saying this, that pin looks okay, just for the moment. I'm gonna make sure it's not shorted to the thing next to it and doesn't have a bunch of resistance, but that'll get replaced as soon as I have parts. And I did put this board back in. I had to reset the 43 volt because I was playing with that earlier. And now the trowel kicker just is good. So, sure, why not? I mean, it's still sluggish, as though there's a bunch of crap in it, because there's probably a bunch of crap in it. But it's good to know that it works without this. So I'm going to go return this to where it belongs. And then we'll chuck in our new expander board. Oh, come on, you turd. I like when you pop it off, you pop the next one off and it instantly goes back on. Alright, well, I'll add this to my collection of bad auxiliary lamp drivers. If you're asking why I don't throw them out, transistors. Lots of free transistors. Alright, well, the flavorful connector is going back on. Did I put this on upside down? No. Alright. Board is in, wire soldered on. I also threw the LED adapter on this board too, even though I don't have LEDs in it yet. Make sure it boots up. Alright. Yeah, a lot of the bulbs. I've been trying to get this bit of solder off without taking the paint off. These tend to come out kind of nicely. Here's what I want. Switch adjuster. Usually just... Come on, this is a really nice apron. Yeah, fuck, I scratched it. Whatever. It's all right. Yeah, I mean, most of the bulbs work. I'm just going to go and throw incandescents and whatever doesn't work for the moment. Just make it look nicer for when I play it later. Okay, never mind. It shit the bed. No more 5-volt. No more board. No more anything. What the hell did I just lose here? Let me see if there's voltage coming out of that. All right, the 4-amp fuse on the power supply was blown, and that happened when I was closing that head door. I'm gonna take a guess that it's that crap connector on the solenoid expander, because it's kinda... yeah. Anyway, back to replacing bulbs. And now this stopped clicking. This was clicking before, a fuse popped, and now this doesn't click. I don't know what that does, so we'll come back to it. Yeah, okay, this connector is still kind of messy. I plug it in and it goes back to overvolt. But it wasn't doing this before. And now it is. And now it's fine. Yeah, something in that connector is a little goofy. I might leave it unplugged. So if I close this, it kind of messes with the connector a little bit, and then the whole game shuts off. Well, it's not going to do it while I'm trying to do it. And wiggling that connector makes this click. So, whatever, like I said, I'm waiting on pins. I can maybe use the wrong size pin, but it'll be weak and it's not the right way to do it. Relay's back, and a lot of these bulbs kind of are in and out, and it's these boards with the red connectors. I know the red connectors are faulty. Same thing, I don't have this size pin on hand. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I'm probably not gonna wait till the end of the video. Like, we know it's a problem. I will fix it. You're just gonna have to believe me. Right, when I do these repair videos, it's get the thing to work. And then a separate video is make it nice. And I'm pretty much gonna stick to that with one exception, is I wanna try polishing this with Novus 3. Wherever it is. There it is. And see if I can get that to look nice. Obviously, sound's not gonna work. I don't have the parts for this upper left flipper, so that's going to stay broken. But what I can do... oh, yeah, and every connector needs to be done. Like this, the trowel is intermittent, the up kickers, or the out hole's intermittent. Some of the lights don't always work correctly, and I wiggle connectors and then they're fine. So all of these red ones are going to go, and it's pretty much the consensus here. So the next thing I'm going to do to make it a competently playing game would be to fix that. That's not stuck electronically, as I said before, it's stuck physically. So pretty much all I have to do is take the assembly apart, clean it out, probably lubricate it, and then put it back in. Gonna have to order more of these rubber post caps too. And it's warped. Well, these will shine nicer when they're not nasty as hell. It's not as clean as I wanted it, but it's smooth, so that's fine. Alright, threw a new rubber on it because I had one, and now the sling works great. Hold on, let the flap on the camera open. It's fairly strong. All the coils are a little weak, and I don't think I've redone all the connectors for that yet, so there's probably some high resistance on one of those. Speaking of connectors, I redid the male and female pins on the little solenoid expander board here, because I thought that may have been why the trowel was intermittent, but you know, it's not. Thankfully, this style of connector, these brick connectors, these are all right. It's just it's those red crimp pins suck. So there was a good concept to them. I think I have one over here. They act more like trifurcon pins on the inside. Oh, focus up, come on. You can't really see inside there, but they make contact on both sides as opposed to a single side. But the problem is the way they were pushed in there, it's just crimped in with a tool. It's like sharp at the bottom. So you end up making very, very little contact, and any amount of corrosion or, you know, wire being loose makes it not work. I mean, this orange one is already a replacement, and both of the other orange ones were bad too. Kind of why I did that. All right, I got that back in. I already told you I repinned the thing. My goal here is to make it work, not make it pretty. The next video is making it pretty. Although I must say I did clean the Mylar off, and it's smooth enough, right? Like it'll play well. And honestly, for what I paid, this thing looks pretty good. I have drops on the way. So I need to make sure it consistently launches out of here and out of there. And I redone another connector. So we're gonna see if that works. All right. Hey, would you look at that? It's been staying working too. Come on, dude. Sweet. All right, now let's shake it. See if it still works. All right, I must have gotten it. Honestly, I've just been kind of shotgun replacing these connectors. As I said earlier, these red ones are just known to be defective and problematic. And I've just been going through and getting them all. I need to get J1 over there. I had technically done J1, but it turns out that was a lighting connector. And the whole switch matrix is occasionally wonky. Let me get these pins done. That way the switch matrix stops freaking out, and then we'll do our final play if it's ready for it. Excuse the jumpiness in the video here. I had a buddy of mine over. Old power board is back in, still boots up. Plunger, I just cleaned it out, and I put a shinier spring on the outside, and I put a new one on the inside, although I gotta see if I like it. I might put the factory one back on. I lost my trail coil again. Damn it! Quit doing that. I'm noticing too, like I just got the right inlay in the D letter and it scored it, but the light didn't go out. But sometimes the light will go out. Now I've only redone one of the light matrix connectors, and that would be the one that I thought was the MPU connector. So that working sometimes, I'm gonna presume is that. And no out hole again. God damn it. Same thing though, it's in and out. So intermittent issue plus game where basically every single connector has had some sort of issue. I think we could safely assume what the problem is. Okay, and okay. Thank you, game. Appreciate that. All right, well, for the most part, it's fixed and playable. I know it's got a sometimes thing. I'm out of connector pins. I already ordered some a couple days back. I knew I was low, so they'll come in 2 or 3 days, but I'm gonna go home, put this video together, call it another game complete, and you'll get the part 2, same as we did with World Cup. World Cup decided to die. The display board, instead of the zeros, now counts wrong. Awesome. So I'm waiting on some chips to come in for that. I don't remember the number. And then there's Corral. You guys don't know about this, but this is a free game. I got this for free out of a barn, and I filmed it. It doesn't work. I don't think anyone's surprised. So that's the next one. This was an Allentown pickup, so probably already said that. Sweet, cheap 8-ball deluxe, good players condition, playfield's fairly flat. I mean, hell, I'm happy with it. Sweet. It's your lucky day. You're gonna get some bonus content. I was cleaning this and just rewatched, make sure none of my files were corrupted. And I remembered that we never actually tried this MPU. It was still doing the 2-click. Now, something is telling me that it's not gonna turn on. But, what the hell? It'll take 5 minutes, I'm curious. Come on. let's see how many blinks we get through. One. Well, that's depressing. That's like the worst it possibly could have done. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There you go. 8-ball Deluxe.